What's going on, everybody? This is a Monday night special of Infinity Equation, where we're talking about spaghetti western, one of the best. So this, I want to say, the last 2 or 3 years of the Mandalorian. We're going to be talking about season 2, chapter 9, the Marshal. And as always, I'm joined by this gentleman over here who gets fired on a weekly basis. And I don't know how he got back on the show because he was fired the other week. But here he is.
What's up, everybody? I'm LaserPants81, and this is the way.
Is it really the way? You know what the real way is?
This is the way.
No, this is the way that I fire you. And move on to this gentleman over here. Worst segue ever. This gentleman over here with the show slowly becoming Marvel Legends. Yes, you, sir. Right. Your shells are slowly becoming the Marvel Legends universe.
Gotcha. Yeah, very slowly. My girlfriend gave me a very good goal of like do one shelf a week. So that's gonna be my goal now. Try to fill one shelf a week.
And let's not forget this gentleman brings the pain and the pleasure at the same time, like icy hot.
What's up, gang? I never had anyone describe me like that. I don't know if I like it or not.
Well, you bring the coolness, but you bring the fire too. Like icy hot. You know, you're like it burns. Oh, there's the coolness.
Maybe I'll try. You've been taking over in the hot department. I think I'm gonna be a little more cool nowadays.
We could be like Tina Marie and Rick James, fire and desire.
Cold-blooded.
There you go. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to jump right into this. This is just we're going to probably be on here for about an hour, just talking about chapter 9, the Marshal. Going to bring up Mr. Laserpants' screen over here. So, the first part, let's just talk about the show and just this episode in general. So, there is the first part. If you want to bring up when he first meet with the alien there, Ryan.
Look at that! They won't let Disney Plus won't let me screen share images from the show.
No. Oh yeah.
Okay.
Thanks,
That's
Disney.
all right. I got Google image search pulled up.
Yeah, jerks.
Seriously.
You know what? That's good. Probably good because we'd be like YouTube be like, hey, what the fuck are y'all doing?
Yeah. Oh.
Well, first I want to say it. It's been a while since I watched the end of season 1, so it's kind of interesting. They just show him. You know, they don't really show. They don't show him in space or anything. It's just that all of a sudden they're on this other planet, and they don't tell you what planet it is or. What they've been doing since the end of season 1 and the beginning of season 2.
Yeah,
they do their little recap, but it'd be nice if like they gave you like a crawl that told you what was going on.
I guess you only get that with the Skywalker series.
Yeah.
See, that's what I don't like when they did. Like Rogue One didn't have it. But to me, it's like that. The crawl is like a staple of Star Wars. Mm-hmm. So I didn't think that should have been just reserved for the Skywalker saga. I felt like that should have been something that was in every Star Wars, film release or even something like The Mandalorian, because it would be nice to see that crawl to Todd's point, like tell you, hey, this is what's been going on. How long has it been since the end of season 1? That kind of thing.
No,
I like that they wanted to differentiate it from the Skywalker saga, these like side stories. But even though I'm not a huge fan of Solo, I like what they did. They still had, a prelude with some text, but it wasn't the crawl. It looked slightly different, but it was still Star Wars. You know what I mean? It kind of introduced you to the world and, what the foundation of the story is with the hyper fuel. it set up the timeline of where we were in the Star Wars universe at that point. It'd be cool if they did something similar like that with the Mandalorian.
I think,
Of course, I would be totally down with another crawl, especially at the beginning of the season, just to kind of set it up a little bit better. But I mean, the Mandalorian isn't telling it's very old school the way it's presented.
I think they did that with this season. With this first episode, because we know this is a time that's right after Return of the Jedi.
Yeah,
we officially know because, well, once we get to that part, we can go into a little bit more. But with Boba Fett, I guess armor showing up. I'll just say it like that until we get to that part. But Boba Fett's armor showing up, that we know now. It's like, okay, so this is definitely at the Return of the Jedi when he fell into the Sarlacc pit. So that's I'm sure we'll get there. I'm sure we'll get the backstory of that. Yeah.
But it starts off, they kind of just drop us into the Mandalorian's world. He's going to a planet he's on his quest basically to find Baby Yoda's people, whether that be his species or, Jedi. the Jedi, or as the armorer called them, enemy wizards or sorcerers. Yeah. Which I thought was like really cool.
But first he was looking for a Mandalorian that was on Tatooine.
Yeah. Well, no.
Yeah. He was looking for a Mandalorian. He didn't know he was on he didn't know there was one on Tatooine.
Right. He was looking for a Mandalorian, right?
Which was and this I guess it's my boss, you want to call him, played by John Leguizamo.
That blew my mind. Like they must have altered his voice a little bit, but once I heard it after finding out it was John Leguizamo, I was like, that's what it is.
You know what? I'm not surprised because he was in a fat suit for Spawn.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Because he played clown in Spawn. So I'm not surprised that they may have altered his voice just a tad bit, but I didn't really recognize his voice until I had to go back. I was like, when I got to the end, I was like, John Leguizamo, I don't remember seeing him in there. I was like, he was in the beginning. That's right. Makes sense.
Yeah, so he kind of shows up in this underground fight club. We see a couple of these Gamorrean guards in there in a gladiatorial battle. It looked pretty cool. Were their axes energized? Because when they hit, it was like...
Yeah,
I think they were.
Vibrating or whatever.
Yeah, like vibro axes.
Yeah. I thought the Gamorreans were a little on the skinny side.
I thought so too.
Yeah, Gamorreans aren't all fat. I think the ones in Jabba's palace were, they were gangsters, basically. So they were well fed. They were drinking all the time. These are more like athletic Gamorreans.
Yeah.
But I thought it looked cool, and I thought it was a cool concept. Some people said the ring there was a little too real world, but it worked for me. It was fine. It wasn't too Earth looking.
Wait, what do they want to ring? Who? What do you want a ring to look like?
An octagon.
Space, a space age ring. Oh my goodness, they're on a floating platform. It's Flash Gordon, spikes.
Yeah,
that's what they're looking for.
Yeah. Then of course we had. Did we get John Leguizamo's name? That character?
I think he did say it with the. I think figures. I think it's Del Palma.
Okay.
He's like, I like John's character a lot. I feel like the Palma gangster character. Oh no, wait a minute. No, I don't think that was the name of the character. Sorry.
No, that's not. Yeah.
Yeah. Let me see. I have it up here. Let me bring it up. Let me see.
I should have been
Gore
more prepared.
Koresh. That's what it is. Gore Koresh.
Okay. Of course, he double crosses. They want his Beskar because it's nice and shiny and valuable, and apparently it completely deflects blaster bolts.
Oh yeah. That's why they wanted that Beskar armor. Yo, that thing is bouncing bullets off everywhere.
I mean, so what's the point of Stormtrooper armor? Because that doesn't block nothing.
That's plastic.
Yeah. I mean, we saw the armor in the season 1 finale smash through a Stormtrooper's helmet with her hammer.
Yeah. That's a recycled plastic. See, this is what happens when you recycle plastic.
Yeah. Yeah, old.
Wasn't there a Cyclops a character in the Mos Eisley Cantina in episode 4?
Yes, there was. It was a brief image. Yeah, I don't know if it made it to the special edition, but I know for sure in the original cut he was in there.
Yeah, I think it was in both, if I remember correctly. It's been a while since I've seen both of them. Because it's hard. Like now, it's like I remember more vividly the special edition more than the original cut. But I think he was in both.
Yeah.
But he used his Whistler missiles.
Yep.
Things.
So yeah, once again, he's surrounded by these thugs, blasters drawn, and he used the whistling birds from his gauntlet that we saw the armorer make for him. It was awesome. Yeah. And then he basically asked the guy about.
Hold on, you forgetting the other part. The child knew what was about to go down. He hit that button he's like, boop. He's like, I ain't trying to be around for all that.
It's it's easy to forget about Baby Yoda in this episode because he wasn't the main focus. Yoda. I mean, he wasn't in the episode that much. This was about Din Djarin, the Mandalorian. Which I actually really like. I don't want the I don't want the child, to take over the whole show.
Right.
Even though I do like Baby Yoda. But anyway. So the Cyclops guy, what's his name?
Gore Koresh.
Gore Koresh says sends him to Tatooine. He says he only knows of one Mandalorian, and that's on Tatooine.
And his reply was, I've been to the Tatooine. There's no Mandalorians that I've seen on there.
Yeah.
Which it's just true, because I remember during the first season, he was on there and we didn't see anybody that looked like or referenced a Mandalorian.
Right. But then, of course, we get to go back to Tatooine, which was really cool.
Yeah. And then we get to meet Peli Motto again. Amy, played by Amy Sedaris.
Yeah, so she's back. Man, I see a lot of hate for that character.
Why?
I don't know. I think she's fine. People say... so the one complaint I hear the most is people say everything's too real world. It doesn't feel like Star Wars.
I will agree that her character, to me, does not fit in, the Star Wars universe.
Okay.
When I saw her in season 1, I was like, that was kind of a bad casting. Bad casting or a poorly written character. I just felt like it was very removed from the feel of what they were presenting. Mm-hmm. I even felt that way with the Marshal too.
Yeah, we'll get to him. In fact, we'll get to him right now because he goes back to Tatooine and she sends him to a town called Mos Pelga.
Well, I just want to interject real quick. I didn't like the slapstick with the droids. I thought that was a little too are they trying to and trying to get kids involved? I mean, I don't know. It the show is so dark. It took me out of the show. It was like, this is dumb.
Well, I mean, that's very prequel trilogy, right?
Yeah.
And I think what they're trying to do is not just make this an original trilogy feel. They're trying to make it feel like all of Star Wars,
Right.
They're trying to bring in elements from everything.
I think, it's like kind of injecting humor in a serious moment. And I can see how they okay, the droids are going to be kind of doing something stupid and funny. Okay, here we go. Yay. Ha ha ha. Look at the droids. That's just stupid. Tearing apart the ship.
We don't need George Lucas humor. Thank you very much. The show is way better than that.
There's always been humor in Star Wars.
Yeah. I'm sorry. When you say that, it makes me think of Saturday Night Live when the guy was playing George Lucas. He's like, "You'll give me a Diet Coke. We don't have any Diet Cokes. You'll give me a Diet Coke." George, the force is not real. He's like, "Give me a Diet Coke." And he just starts stuffing away in the background.
Give me a Diet Coke. What I want. I'm just trying to tell a story.
Right. Oh, man. then he has the what was it? What's a jingle bobber? I'm just gonna start calling stuff around there because I forget what stuff is called.
When he goes to the bar in this Mospelgo town, I'm pretty sure the name of the bartender is the same as the character on the sail barge in Return of the Jedi. So
See, I thought Weekway was their race.
That
Not
is the race.
Yeah, that's the race.
So it's the race. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, Weekway is the race, and that's this guy. So was he played by someone known, or is he just kind of an unknown actor?
No, he was played as his name is W. I forget his name now. Something.
He was also in Deadwood.
Yes, with Timothy Oliphant as
yeah.
well. Yeah.
Okay.
It's a lot of this is a lot of connecting stuff back to either other shows with actors being on other shows, and then
I think it's a lot of people's friends getting hired.
Yeah.
You know,
he played a bartender in a smaller bar that like the Wild Bill Hickok used to go to in Deadwood.
Yeah, I never watched Deadwood, so I wouldn't know.
Shame on you.
Sorry, it just did not interest me.
Great show.
W. Earl Brown.
Yes, that's him.
Okay. Yeah, I'm pulling up his picture. Yeah, I don't recognize him, but that's fine. But it was cool. I mean, you know, this it looks like Star Wars, and I know a lot of people are tired of going back to Tatooine. Man, I love it. When I see the docking bay there in Mos Eisley, and even the mechanic droids that Todd didn't like from the prequels, I think it's cool.
So just to quickly go back, so when she showed the map, I forget there was a spot that it was referenced before, but I don't think we have seen it in the Star Wars universe. It wasn't Mos Eisley, it was somewhere else.
Mos Espa.
Yeah, Mos Espa.
Mos Espa is the town they were in The Phantom Menace.
Okay, so that's
where they found Anakin.
And also, it's a callback to episode 4 with R5, because he was the one with the bad motivator that Luke rejected, or Uncle Owen said, "No, what are you trying to pawn your junk on us?"
Yeah, that's a pretty old droid now at this point.
Fuck yeah!
Because Mandalorian is 9 years after A New Hope,
right?
So, but yeah, that R5 even had like where that motivator popped in the movie. It had that oil stain coming out that area in the back of his head. So that was kind of a cool callback. A lot of people say that's Easter egg, like fan service.
Yeah,
I'm all for it, man. Give me more fan service. You know, because I'm a fan. I'm a fan.
Like,
service.
Yeah, I feel like even with the prequels or the new, you know, Skywalker saga movies, they didn't do enough fan servicing. Like, and I think like the fan servicing they did was really shitty. So it's nice to see, like, I'm sure it's not just Favreau. I'm sure it's a lot of the people on his creative team that are doing it, but it's nice that they're putting it out there and saying like, hey, Star Wars fans, we do care about you. Fuck that Rey shit. You know, we actually do care about, you know, how you feel and what you like.
Right.
Exactly. Yep. Yeah, we want to buy your stuff, Star Wars. Give us what we want. So she tells him that there's a Mandalorian out in Mos Pelga. She shows him the map. Mos Pelga's not on it, if I remember right.
No, it's just like a blank spot.
Yeah. And so as soon as she said Mos Pelga, I was like, oh, he's going to go meet Cobb Vanth. Because if you've read the Aftermath books, that was where Cobb Vanth was in that book. It wasn't about him. It was about some new characters and some of the legacy characters from the OT were in it. But there was a story about Cobb Vanth, this guy on Tatooine that found Mandalorian armor.
Yeah.
And it was just something like these little snippets in between chapters in that book. By the way, don't read the Aftermath books. They're horrible. But that was kind of cool. So
also just to go along with that too, explain why how some of the mercenaries were dressed up as miners to try to take over and rummage through cities as well too. So
well, it was a mining town, Mospelga.
Right, but some of the mercenaries were dressed up as miners. That was a thing.
Well, yeah, they wanted to take over and enslave the people of Mospelga to mine. You know,
that was one thing that didn't really make sense. Is they said the mining guild moved in and they wanted to enslave everybody, and then they just started shooting everybody. Like, what if you want to enslave people? Like, if you're gonna kill all your fucking slaves, like it doesn't make any sense. And just start shooting everybody.
Yeah, kill a couple people to show that you're nothing to play with, and then you keep the rest of the folks alive. So everybody's in the bar. You're like, okay, these are drunks anyway. They're not gonna really do any work anyway. So we can go ahead and kill them off, and everybody else who's at home, they can start mining for us.
Yeah. So he goes to this town to find a Mandalorian, and sure enough, in walks this guy looking like a really awkward Boba Fett. So first of all, he's wearing the armor wrong. As soon as you see it, you know it's Boba Fett, even though most of the colors have been stripped off from the acid, right, from the Sarlacc pit. But you know it's Boba Fett's armor. It's got the dent in the helmet. It's still got a little bit of the red rim, the green. It's got the signet right there.
Mm-hmm.
And but he's wearing it like the shoulder pads are like up on his shoulders.
Yep.
And Boba Fett had them on the side, right?
Yep.
So I think the whole thing is he's wearing it wrong. It even looks like it's got that Zartan look with the bottom of the armor there, right? Like it's like
it's a mixture of like Han Solo belt and like a broke man, like a half, like it's a broke man's Boba Fett on top and a broke man's Han Solo at the bottom.
Yeah. But the reason why is because this guy's obviously a lot taller than Boba Fett. Mm-hmm. And I think Timothy Oliphant is really tall.
I think, well, I was listening to the ACVA podcast. Somebody looked it up, and they're the same height for both actors.
Timothy Oliphant and Jeremy Bulloch?
Supposedly, yeah, like 6'2".
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So that's still pretty tall for him.
Yeah, Jeremy Bulloch is. I don't think Jeremy Bulloch is 6'2". I could be wrong. But I think the point they're trying to get is he's not really Boba Fett. That's why it looks awkward. He's wearing it wrong, and he's too tall. So it turns out this guy Cobb Vanth, when Mospelga was attacked by that mining guild that came to enslave the town, he got ran out of town and he got picked up by the Jawas. And in that Jawa sandcrawler was this armor. So he traded them some of his crystals, and I don't remember what they were called. But he had an ice cream machine he had an ice cream maker full of crystals, which is, I guess, is like the new Star Wars safe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. It's like a space safe, a spafe.
It's the briefcase that Jules and Vincent carry around.
Yeah, right.
It's in there. Oh.
So he traded Marcellus Wallace's soul for the armor.
Shit, guys! I just realized I gotta head out.
All right,
All right,
Bobby.
See you guys.
See ya.
Yep. See you Friday. So he's like, whoa, like you got this Mandalorian armor, and he wants it because they have a right to take back their armor.
Yes.
I guess as part of the Mandalorian creed.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
And non-Mandalorians are not supposed to be wearing it.
Right. So they're about to shoot each other, right? It's like totally Old West. They're in the cantina, right? Their hands are on the guns. It's very old school. I thought it was really cool. And they hear something from outside. It's like an earthquake.
You're saying
right? And then Kevin Bacon showed up, and there was these giant worms under the sand.
St. Tremors.
Yeah.
Your show's mixed up.
Oh, sorry. Okay. No, it's a crate dragon. that was mentioned in the first movie.
Yes.
It's the sound that Obi-Wan Kenobi imitated to scare up the Sand People.
also
And we
Death
finally got,
Skeleton.
we finally got to see a Krayt Dragon. Now, someone said the Krayt Dragon appeared in Knights of the Old Republic. Did you guys play that game?
I did, but it's been a long time since I played that.
Okay. But I guess the Krayt Dragon Pearl was from that game. It was a storyline in the game.
I think so. I can't. Like I said, it's been a while since I played the game. It might have been in there.
Okay.
All I remember is I was slicing people up. That's all I remember. I was a Sith Lord. I was just killing people left and right. Killed my crew. I ain't got time for them.
Yeah. I mean, I'm a huge Star Wars fan, but I'm not super into video games. So
you should play them.
I never played Knights of the Old Republic. I read the stories. I don't remember anything about a Krayt Dragon Pearl.
Look, sir. When you play the game, you just don't know how good it is to cut down Jolie Bendo for messing with you the whole game.
But instead of shooting each other, they decide to team up.
Well, that's how he gets the arm back. He's like, if you want the armor back, you gotta help me get rid of this Krayt Dragon from messing with the town.
Yeah, no, I was getting to that.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, no, it's okay.
My
What are
bad.
you eating? What are you eating? You eating during the show?
Yeah, I'm eating M&Ms.
You can't eat during the show.
You're telling the story. I'm listening to you tell the story like campfire.
You can't eat during the show.
Why not? Who's gonna stop me?
You told me I can't eat during the show.
I didn't say that. You got a butler that comes in for your show. I'm going to eat my M&Ms.
I don't know where he's. Oh, I think he's practicing his saxophone. Anyway, so he takes his helmet off. I'm like, man, Mos Pelga is like this rundown town, but at least they have great barbers there.
Sorry, real quick. Where is it? Okay, Figure said the pearl is from the game. Don't remember fighting the freaking dragon though.
Okay, so the pearl appeared in the game, but not the dragon. This might be the first official canon image we've actually seen of the Krayt Dragon.
Yes,
which turns out to be a giant underground worm, right? Mostly worm, but we have seen the skeleton in the first movie out in the desert, and it matched up. Even though the skeleton was a lot smaller. But I saw Phil Stozak, I think that's how you say his last name, on Twitter. He said that the skeleton was a juvenile Krayt Dragon, and the one we see in this show was full grown. So that explains the size difference.
Now, this is what caught my eye here.
Yeah.
With Tim Cobb Van. He's riding an engine that looks just like Annie's engine. That's right. I'm going to call him Annie because that's what he was at that time.
Yeah, good eye. Because I had to point that out to my wife. She didn't realize. But yeah, that's that's Anakin's, one of the engines from his pod racer, repurposed into a speeder.
But it wasn't loud as his racer was. Man, that thing was loud. That sounded like somebody needed a tune-up on that bad boy.
Yeah, but it was the same sound as Anakin's pod racer. It just wasn't as loud.
So I just have to point out a little plot hole here.
Oh, there's more than one.
Oh, I know, but this is
It's
part.
okay. I'll fill those plot holes for you. Go ahead.
This
Go ahead,
one kind of
noobs.
boggled me. This one boggled me. You're both riding on probably some loud speeders. You know, wind whipping in your face. I mean,
yeah.
How are you having a full conversation during this time? He's got a damn helmet on.
Yeah.
You got wind hitting your face.
And
How are you having a full-fledged conversation during this time?
Okay, I'm glad you brought that up because that bothered me too.
Okay.
That was not good.
He's not even shouting. He's like casually talking.
Right. It's a casual talk.
And he like turns his head. And his hair doesn't blow he has really good hair gel. Like they got good barbers and great hair gel in Mos Pelga.
Yo, Timothy Olyphant's hair will never move. Okay, that's stuff. When they make it stick, they make it stick.
Yeah.
So here's where my girlfriend and I were like plot holes. Is he runs away from Mos Pelga when the fucking mercenaries attack. His first thought, he grew up in Tatooine his entire life. His first thought, oh, let me grab this fucking briefcase that probably has nothing that it will keep me alive inside it. Instead of there was a backpack that was strapped to the side of that vehicle that probably had supply, so maybe some food.
Or take the whole car. Just take the whole car.
Something.
It's not like they got car keys.
like a fucking all he needs a canteen, and then like let me go wander into nowhere. Like, okay. So that was kind of annoying.
Yeah.
And the car keys. It's not like say, oh shoot, I left the car keys in the speeder.
That was part of the plot, and then Mando is like, okay, I could just take the fucking armor from you because I know I could kick your ass. Like,
Right.
Oh yeah.
Now all of a sudden I'm scooped into this fucking side mission.
But I think that speaks to the Mandalorian's character and how the child has affected him. He's become more empathetic.
Oh no, the child didn't really affect him. He's like, "Do you want to do this for the kid?" He's like, "He's seen worse."
Yeah.
I don't care. We can do
Right.
this in here, outside.
But what I
do
mean
you want to die?
What I mean is when he realized that these people were, at one point enslaved, and he was just a protector, right? He was like, "All right, I can help these people out." I think being with the child has like softened him a little bit in that way.
Yeah, that I was like, okay, it was obviously, that's we gotta have him help this guy out. That's the whole plot. But the thing that annoyed me, besides the fact that he ran into the desert knowing he was gonna die without fucking water, is the sand, the crate dragon didn't leave like a huge gaping fucking hole through the center of the town,
right?
and nothing, like only a couple of these like little tower things collapsed. Like, dude, if sand is the only thing that's keeping these buildings up, and you just disturbed all the sand, those fucking buildings would have collapsed into the hole. And it was like, okay,
It didn't make any. Yeah, I agree with you on that because I'm like, he went right through the middle of the town, huh?
Yep.
Not underneath nobody's houses, but just right through the middle of the town. He's bothering him that much that he's like, yo, he's pushing up too much sand in the middle of this town. He's going to cause a sinkhole and somebody's going to disappear.
Yeah, that's true. I mean,
it's just kind of stuff that you have to just like, okay, just,
Yeah, stuff like that. I think you just kind of have to roll with it.
Yeah. I mean, at the end, like towards the end when they're battling, I could kind of understand it because he's probably digging deep into the Tatooine. So I think you would still feel some kind of tremor, even if he's digging. If you're in that area,
I just thought it was kind of. I mean, in general, it's an impractical kind of monster. You just kind of you really have to like suspend belief and say, okay, it's just the way that Star Wars science works.
Yeah. But, I mean, Star Wars science. There's fire and explosion and sound in space.
Yeah.
I mean, what the Ewoks already had all these traps set up to destroy the Empire.
Yeah.
Because they had all these elaborate traps and logs and stuff like the same day.
Yeah.
Was that stuff already all set up? Maybe. I don't know.
I don't know.
Little stuff like that I can roll with. Now Luke being a freaking asshole for no reason. Anyway, we're not talking about the sequel.
Sorry, just real quick. So Jay's Fig says, I thought they could talk to each other through the Force.
That's not how the Force works.
It is now. Greg Miller says story time on those machines and there's like casual conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah, because and he says, Jay says, because the child now has some sort of empathy.
And see, and that's what I want to say is that we are seeing character growth with the Mandalorian. You even saw it at the beginning of this episode when he lands at the docking bay and that lady Pelly comes out and she tells the droids, no, get away from his ship. He's like, nah, let him do a once over on it.
But she sure grabbed that baby out of the bag though. She's like,
well, because she thought that he hated droids because he did.
No, I'm talking about she grabbed that baby out of the bag. She's like, come here, little baby.
Yeah, she's like,
the baby. The baby.
But one of his whole character attributes in the first one was he hated droids because they killed his family as a kid. He never, he didn't trust IG-11.
Yeah.
But IG-11 sacrificed to save him and the child and Grief Karga and Cara Dune. Kind of, he is growing as a character, which is good.
Oh yeah.
Finally, there's good characters in Star Wars again.
Ewan says, I think it's part of the Mandalorian Code of Honor.
I don't know the code by heart if there is one in canon, but it could be.
7962 says, well, Mando agreed thinking it was going to be easy as blasting him with the Razor Crest.
Right.
It was not.
No.
And I kind of agree with this with OK Figures. Yeah, Kyle's backstory should have been shared before the Dragon issue. I feel like that would make more sense for Mando to be empathetic, which is correct. I agree with that. If they did that beforehand, then it would have made more sense than just like, oh, here comes your MacGuffin that's going to bring us together.
Now, you guys didn't know who Cobb Vanth was, right? You had never heard of him?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
No.
Yeah, because he was only in that the Aftermath novel, which was horrible.
Right, which I heard that I heard he was like mentioned in there, and that's how like mercenaries became like dressers minds and all that nonsense.
Yeah,
it gives a little backstory of what happened with him, but it's not a whole lot that delves into him. So
I mean, the way he got what they showed in the show is in that book, like like how he found the armor and how he became the marshal of this town to protect them. That's all in those little snippet side stories in that book. But I mean, I thought he was fine. Cobb Vanth, whatever. He had the armor, and I was like, oh, Boba Fett's armor. Okay, so what's going on here? And so they hop on these speeders, and they're going to fly out to what were they doing? They were just trying to suss out the crate dragon.
Yeah, he's like I know where it's at.
Yeah.
And that's when they run into those dogs who are part of the Sand People. And the Sand People
Tusken
come out.
Dogs.
The Tusken Raiders. And he's like, whoa. He's like, whoa. And which is kind of cool. Side note. The Tusken Raiders, the actors that played them were all deaf. And they made up a new sign language for the Raiders. For those Tusken Raiders.
Interesting.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, so that was how he was able to communicate with them. Now,
if you want a real plot hole, here's one for you. The Mandalorian can speak Tusken Raider. He's out there, barking and grunting, but he's doing the sign language, but he's also speaking their language as well.
Well, you see him touch a button on his arm controls or whatever, and so it makes you think he's got some sort of translator.
I did not notice that at all.
Yeah.
We just watched it for a third time before dinner.
Okay.
Right before, so yeah, I noticed you see him. He starts walking up and he pushes a button as he's like making those sounds towards the dogs.
Yeah, the dog's first appearance in Attack of the Clones, by the way.
Oh yeah.
When Anakin went to kill all the Tusken Raiders and the women and the children too, because they're animals, and he slaughtered them like animals.
The Sand People get on my nerves. Yep. Told you.
In the sand that he hates. So they meet up with the Tusken Raiders, and Cobb Vanth, his first thought is shoot these guys, right? And the Mandalorian's like, yo, chill. I've dealt with them before. And they work out a plan. They're gonna, enemy of my enemy is my friend, right? So they decided to team up with the Tusken Raiders to take out this crate dragon because it's eating everyone. It's killing everyone, right? And so let me see if I can pull up another picture here.
So why are you doing that? So they start working with the Sand People. Once the Tusken Raiders are like, yeah, we'll go ahead and help you out. But then they find it's too much for them because one of their people get eaten. So in a way to kind of pull everything together, as always, they have to pull in the villagers from what's this?
Mos Pelga?
Mos Pelga. And Mos Pelga people are not happy about that at all. Because they do not like the Tusken Raiders because they were killing them. Because the people, Mos Pelga was taking their water, and that's why everybody hate each other. So,
yeah.
Once that happened, then everybody started kind of being together, get the explosives ready, and everything. And then
on the
Banthas, yes. And then once they got back there, they had a plan of attack. They were going to bury the explosives in the ground and try to lure it out just enough so they can blow up the underside of it. Well, that didn't go as planned. They
By the
lowered
way,
it.
why does the crate dragon, he goes underground like the Tremor tremors, worms, things.
Yep.
Right. But then he's also in a cave. And that cave, by the way, they said is an old Sarlacc cave where a Sarlacc lived.
And they said he ate it.
He ate the Sarlacc.
So I can only imagine.
Now, in the old EU, the Sarlacc was killed by the explosion. I got my notifications popping up here. That Sarlacc was killed by the explosion of Jabba's sail barge, right?
Right.
Okay.
That was in the old EU. So I know that's the old EU, and it's not necessarily canon anymore. So I don't think that cave is that Sarlacc we saw. So there's probably many Sarlaccs on this planet.
Right. But this one ate it. And if this thing's big enough to eat a Sarlacc,
yeah.
I don't know. That I like to know how big a Sarlacc is, because if this thing can just chomp it up, that is, I don't know.
Yeah, Sarlacc is pretty big. They have one at a miniature version at Galaxy's Edge in Disneyland in one of their shops, and it shows like how far it goes underground, and it's like, it's tendrils that go out. They can get pretty big. Yeah. But also this crate dragon has that acid spit, so we can eat the Sarlacc slowly.
I did not, I was not prepared for that when he started spitting all that acid and started melting all those Tusken Raiders. I was like, oh man,
yeah,
lost some good people today.
Yeah,
like you already lost one. Like the Tusken Raiders lost more people than Mos Pelga did, because they were all getting heated. They were all melted down to butter.
Yeah, they were getting fried.
Yeah. So the explosions didn't work when they lured it out far enough to get to explosions. And then they had to figure out another idea. But this crate dragon was smarter than the average dragon and got up to the top of the mountain cave that it was staying in and started spewing acid from the top of it and melting everybody down. Mm-hmm. Once that was, and then Cobb and Mando get up there and try to take his attention away from everybody at the ground. That only worked for a little bit, and then they came back down. They had to figure out a new plan because it disappeared, and somehow in the mountain, and how they didn't feel the tremors is beyond me. But it's near here to there.
I thought it was kind of a stupid plan. Like, why not just bring Mando's ship on the top of the hill, and then when it comes out, just fucking shoot it?
Well, remember, he said that he's like, I could just bring my shit and blast it, but he's like, no, he's like, because it's going to sense the vibration, and it's not going to come out.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was the first thing. I think everybody's first mind, like, all right, bring in the ship. We're done. We're going this episode.
I wonder if they stuck that in there because so many people
would have said something.
Well, so many people last season when they fought the ATST.
Mm-hmm.
Why didn't he just bring in the Razor Crest?
Yeah.
Blast that thing, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
So maybe they threw that line in there because that's an easy out. You know, then you don't have the whole battle. You don't have the cool scenes, right?
Right.
So,
and who knows how big? And who knows how if this thing was shot up out of that rock and then chewed up the Razor Crest? I mean, I guess that could make sense too. I don't know.
So they're using Banthas as bait.
Yes.
Which also kind of breaks the lore because the Tusken Raiders revered their Banthas, right? They like bonded with them in the EU. And I think actually in the new Disney canon as well somewhere. So the fact that they were using them as bait kind of didn't make sense. But that's deep lore, really nerdy stuff that doesn't really matter.
They were using the Banthas to keep it asleep because they were trying to keep it asleep.
But the Banthas were strapped with explosives.
Yeah. So, the new Banthas. Yeah. So when they brought the Banthas in to try to destroy the crate monster, I understand that part. Yeah. You got to sacrifice something. You already sacrificed a couple of Tusken Raiders. I mean,
yeah.
At this point, what's a Bantha? It was probably Jojo Tusken Raiders Banthas anyway. So he's dead. He ain't going to need it anymore. I mean, he's not going to be riding it anytime soon.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll finish up. So Mando It's like, I'll go ahead and take care of it. He has an idea. He sees a bantha that still has there's detonators, not detonators, the explosive still strapped to it. He pops Cobb's. What's up?
No, keep going.
Okay. He popped Cobb's backpack, his jetpack, which blasts him off and gets him out of the way. And then once the crate dragon starts coming towards him, the bantha starts moving and rips and starts booking it out of there. But he hangs on just long enough to get him and the bantha swallowed. And then he uses his rifle, which has the electrical pulse on it, to get out of there and detonate the bantha inside of it to explode the crate dragon.
Blew him up from the inside, man. It reminded me of a lot of different stuff. The first thing I thought
Death
of
Star?
Drax.
Drax, Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, that's it.
Go into the belly of the beast, right? And
everything gets blown. You know what? I figured out that everybody loses a limb somewhere in Star Wars.
Yeah, except for the sequels, they
just dropped it all together.
Yeah. Anyway, one of the coolest shots in the whole show right here, if you ask me. I thought that was awesome. Seeing the two of them side by side, you know. I just thought it looked really cool.
It would have been better if it's the real Boba Fett, but
we're getting there, baby.
I know. I'm just saying it would have been better if they were side by side. If it was a real Boba Fett and Mando shooting it, and they'd be like, "All right, we're gonna do this." He's like, "Fuck you, I'm a bounty hunter."
Yeah. So they do kill the crate dragon, right? He blows it up from the inside. He comes out. He's covered in slime. Then you see the Tusken Raiders in the carcass, cutting it up. One Tusken finds that giant pearl, and he holds it up, right? And all his buddies come over, and they're super excited about this pearl.
Also, another fun fact about that.
Yeah.
That's how they find their kyber crystals for their lightsabers for the Jedis.
Wrong.
It is not wrong. That's how some of them are made from that pearl.
No, kyber crystals are
sir,
not from the pearl. Maybe in Knights of the Old Republic and like the old EU, which is fine.
We will have this discussion offline because I'm not going to fight you today.
In the current canon, I don't think it's. Kyber crystals are from the planet. I think Ilum.
All right. Okay.
And you know there are other places too. But
okay. You're right. Okay.
I'm talking about the Clone Wars when the Padawans go to Ilum to get their kyber crystals because they bond with them because kyber crystals are like semi-sentient.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But Boba isn't a real Mandalorian. That's true. Boba Fett is not a Mandalorian. Neither is Jango Fett.
Yeah, that's very true.
And Cobb Vanth certainly isn't a Mandalorian.
And apparently that slime is not corrosive either because it would have eaten the fuck.
Right. I didn't think about that. Yeah.
Well, hold on. Now animals have their venom in like sacs and glands. He went into the belly, right?
But if you're going in the belly, there's got to be some stomach acid in there.
Yeah, but stomach acid takes a while. It's not like immediate.
Stepping in it, like.
I mean, hey, look, you know, it's fine. You gotta like look past some things. Hey, what's up? Toying around. Kevin's in the chat.
Yo, what's going on, Kevin? Yo, James is like, well, his armor is Beskar, so it protects him from everything. Right, there you go. Kevin says Beskar over everything. Like, nothing gets through it. Even though it's just on his shoulders, arms, and chest and head, and a little bit on his legs. I mean, nothing can get through it. So he has other empty parts that are not covered, but okay.
If there's a plot hole in Star Wars, now you got two options: the Force or Beskar. There you go.
Oh,
plot hole fixers.
This is hilarious. Cobb Vanth refrigeration. That's a good one. If you never watched The Office, you wouldn't get it if you never watched The Office.
It's just a good thing his last name isn't Salad.
Yo, Cobb Salad.
I'm done. Okay.
Oh my goodness.
But yeah, so Cobb Vanth is like, thank you, Mandalorian. Here's your armor.
Yep.
And we see he's loading up this huge chunk of meat on his speeder. And I'm like,
yes,
that's kind of nasty. But I guess, you know, Baby Yoda's got to eat. He's got to eat. So they got this giant chunk of meat.
Oh, Kevin is right. I'm sorry. I did forget. Timothy Oliphant was on The Office as well. I forgot about that. I think he was like a salesperson of some sort. I forget.
He was also a hitman.
Yes.
right? The Hitman movie.
Yes.
I never saw it. But
Sorry.
All right.
yeah.
But what else? So he starts. So it was a nice little addition. It goes from widescreen, which I did not notice, to letterbox when he's riding away, and then we see the bald-headed figure, Boba Fett, turn around and walk away. Because I guess it's now confirmed that is who it was at the end of chapter 9.
This guy right here.
Interesting fact that most people probably don't remember. When back in I think it was like 08, somewhere around there, when they first talked about doing a live action Star Wars TV series, they talked about having the show being focused around Boba Fett.
I think I did remember that because they were talking about a lot of characters at that point. I think at one time.
Yeah.
Because I know they were pushing hard for like a Boba Fett movie, and then I think it turned into like a TV show.
A Boba Fett movie was going to happen. It was going to be done by the kid that did Fantastic Four, the newer one. What's his name?
Thank goodness we didn't get that.
He did Chronicle, and that kind of put his name on the map. And then
Chronicle put his name on the map. But then we seen Fantastic Four, and we're like, dude, please don't touch nothing else. Don't touch nothing else that has any kind of like legacy behind it, because you're messed up.
Yeah.
You messed up, Bobby.
So I guess they decided, because Boba Fett was going to be the first standalone movie. And so when he got fired, they decided to go forward with Rogue One and then Han Solo. But
thank goodness they went with that idea. They were like, woo!
So
skip that.
Yeah, so
Josh Trank, thank you.
Now this is Tamir Morrison. So Aquaman's dad is now canon in Star Wars.
Oh,
so we're gonna have
more than Aquaman's dad.
Same actor.
He was Abin Sur in Green Lantern.
No, he wasn't.
Yes, he was.
He was?
Yes.
In the Ryan Reynolds one?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know that. He had too much makeup on.
And he was in.
I've only seen that movie once too. That was enough.
That was enough for anybody. 2004, he was in Empire Strikes Back as Boba Fett.
Yeah, the voice. He did voiceover.
No, it does not say voiceover. He was the character. It does not even say voiceover.
Oh, listen, he couldn't have been Boba Fett. No. Boba Fett was Jeremy Bullock. It was filmed in 1979.
No, I'm just going by what they have here.
Yeah.
No, it was for the special or the George Lucas edition.
Yes, special edition, and all he did was the voice.
Yeah.
But yeah, so this is Boba Fett, and Dante seems to think it's not; it's someone else.
So this is the reason why.
I'll let you defend your position, and then I'll tell you why you're wrong.
Well, I already read it here. It says it's
okay.
Boba Fett anyway. So the reason why I said that is because all the damn clones look a damn like because they're based off of Django. Mm-hmm. I thought it was Captain Rex because having Ahsoka in this, this season makes sense. You have Captain Rex and Ahsoka. Okay, that makes sense. But that's what happens when you got too many damn clones running around here. This ain't the Spider-Verse. It just got too many freaking same people look at the same thing, saying the same damn part. It's hard to tell who's who anymore.
Okay,
so that's why.
If you go back to season 1 of The Mandalorian, and the episode where they were on Tatooine, and the I think her name is Ming Chen, the actress.
Yes, Ming Chen.
When her character is killed, and at the end of the episode, you see someone walking up to her dead body, kneeling down.
Spurs on.
You hear the spurs. Right. Boba Fett has that sound when he walks in The Empire Strikes Back. You hear his spurs.
I have to watch that again.
Yeah.
Spurs.
So Captain Rex at this point would have no reason to be on Tatooine, but Boba Fett sure would. Also notice the scars on his face. He looks a little melty, like maybe he was mixed up in some Starlax stomach acid for a little bit. Right?
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, there's my armor. And so
you didn't know your armor was on a Jawa.
He might have been looking for it for a while. Who knows? This is 4 or 5 years after he got thrown in the Sarlacc.
Okay, I understand.
But we'll get into it.
With the armor.
It's not Rex. Rex is with the Rebel Alliance at the end of Return of the Jedi. He has no reason to go to Tatooine.
Everybody goes to Tatooine. It's a hot spot.
If there's a bright center to the universe,
It's Tatooine.
Tatooine is the spot that is farthest from. Okay. Luke said that in the first movie.
Hey, when you got two sons, anything can pop off on that planet.
Yeah, even Kevin, he was tracking, toying around, said he was tracking Cobb. Yeah, he was looking for his armor. And he probably heard the rumors of, some dude in Mos Pelga has my armor. Okay.
What the fuck are they mining?
Right. What do you...
Like, there is nothing on Tatooine. Like, how do these people survive on this fucking planet with no water and no vegetation?
Well, no, remember, they're still in water from the Tusken Raiders.
Na Wen. I said her name wrong. Ming Na Wen. There we go. Thank you, Ewan. But so in the old lore, Tatooine was rich with, minerals and stuff that they would want to mine. And that's where those Jawa sandcrawlers came from. Those were brought in like a millennia ago as machines to mine the planet, and they got left. Okay. And the Jawas were there, and they kind of took over the machines and became scavengers and whatnot.
Gotcha.
Yeah, see?
Yeah.
Dark Blue says moisture farmers. That's what Uncle Owen. Yo, and you know what now? Oh my God. I just figured it out. This is Spider-Man.
What's Spider-Man?
Luke. Luke is Peter Parker. His Uncle Owen and Aunt LaRue. His Uncle Owen got killed. Peter Parker's Uncle Ben got killed. Yeah. But in Luke's world, his aunt got killed with Uncle.
That's just the template for the hero's journey.
That's it. That is it.
Yeah. You're going to find that most heroes are orphaned in in stories. I mean, Superman, Batman, Spider-Man, Luke.
Well, Spider-Man's not.
Even Vader, Darth Vader, orphan.
No, he knew his mom. He lived with his mom.
But he was orphaned when he was still a teenager.
And like Hercules, Perseus, they had their father was Zeus, but he was never around because he just came to Earth, knocked up their mom, and fucking bailed.
Right. Really, that's just good storytelling.
Well, wait a minute. Let's say Luke's father didn't really bail on him. Let's be real. He didn't bail on him. He was a crispy critter. Okay, he had to go get his parts replaced. He couldn't do anything. He couldn't hold his kids if he wanted to.
Hey, look. Odon Media said Luke is Kanye.
Mike, stupid.
Oh man, you guys see that meme going around of Kanye as Zordon?
Yes.
With those thick chicks as the Power Rangers. That was funny, man. Yeah.
All right, let's wrap this up so I can get out of here.
Yeah. So it's definitely Boba Fett because he's also credited as Boba Fett.
Yeah.
So that is Boba Fett. We're going to see Boba Fett in season 2. I'm really excited. I think it's awesome. Look at this. Okay, I'm surrounded by Boba Fett here. Okay, we got Boba Fett model kit. This is the new one.
Why I thought you were going to bring up a Dan Who figure.
Marvel Select. No, I don't have the Dan Who mask. I got look at this. Yeah, my mug, Boba Fett. So that's cool. We're finally going to see Boba Fett do something awesome.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Yeah, same here. I hope so. Cause look, there's a lot of questions. I still want to know who Sasha Banks is playing as a character in this. Like, that's a good. Like, how you just hiding like the shadows with a hood on? Like, are you a Sith Lord or are you a Jedi? Like, you need to tell me. I need to find that out. I didn't know going on with Ming-Na Wen's character. I didn't know what's happening with that.
She's dead.
Supposedly, she's supposed to come back.
Okay.
I don't think she's technically dead.
Maybe Boba Fett saved her and she's with him now because she was a bounty hunter.
Yep.
That's cool. I'm down. But anyway, lost my train of thought.
Mm-hmm. Oh, real quick. Kevin said Tom wants to go read Age of Apocalypse.
Yeah, we're going to try to keep these to an hour so we can wrap it up. But Hopefully, we get some Moff Gideon in the next episode. He was the guy with the dark saber in the season finale. Gus from Breaking Bad. I look forward to seeing more of him. So, how do you rate it? Let's do a 1 to 10. How many stars out of 10? What do you give it, Dante?
I'm going to give it a 7.
That's Todd.
Yeah, I'd give it a solid 7.
I'll give it an 8.
I would give it an 8 if it wasn't just a copy and paste story of like something like the first like the episodes like previous season.
I think we're going to see a lot of that.
I hope not.
I think that's what this show is going to be.
You got to take it a little bit further. I
think they will, but I think it's going to be in like season finales. We're going to see a lot of that happen.
All I got to say is I'm going to be really disappointed if we don't see that crew from episode 6.
Oh man, the Bill Burr crew.
Yeah, if we don't see those guys come back, I'm going to be very.
But aren't most of them dead?
No, they all ended up in one of the prison cells on that ship.
No, the brother's dead. The one that they came to save off that prison ship is dead because remember he sent the bomb to the ship where he was on. He had put it on him, so he is definitely dead.
He's dead, but the rest of them were left in that prison cell by the Mandalorian.
So we won't see Bill Burr. This is why I say this because he said he doesn't know what's happened to his character, so he wasn't in season. He's like, I'm not in season 2 at all.
Oh, okay, but all right,
sorry,
that sucks.
I hate to
that does suck.
Yeah, hate to beat the bearer. Bad news on that one.
All right, I'll give it an 8 out of 10.
I'm sticking with my 7.
That's good.
Yeah, I would. I mean, I wouldn't blame you for going that high.
Yeah, but does it make you guys feel like Star Wars is back? Like we get real Star Wars again?
Yes, in this regards, yes.
Yeah.
I feel these are way better produced than the movies were. The movies just seemed like they didn't know where the hell they were going or what they wanted to do.
Even Rogue One, I really liked it. Something was just, I don't know.
I liked it a lot.
Look, I watched Rogue One over any of those last 3 that came out, and I was not a Rogue One person.
Yeah.
Yep.
Totally.
All right, so Star Wars is back.
Yep.
Are we gonna do this next Monday for Chapter 10?
Yes, indeed.
All right. Cool.
All right,
Looking
folks.
forward to it.
We'll be back on Friday this week. No guests. I know everybody keeps asking, it's like, is there a guest? Like, no, there's no guest this week. With some of the craziest stuff that's happened within the last week and this week. And then, real quick, I'll be doing a random giveaway of Marvel Universe 3 set cards. These are extra. I have another set that I'm giving away. So it's going to be 2 sets I will give away on Friday. So if you want to win one, be there on Friday and you may have that chance to win one. All right. Unless you guys ain't got anything else to say.
Hopefully we're back on Friday.
Yeah, we're back on Friday.
If you haven't voted, get out and vote tomorrow.
Oh, hey, yeah. Ewan said he wants my mom to come on.
Yes.
And she did agree to it.
So guest on Friday then?
Ryan's mom?
Yeah.
Ryan's mom.
All right.
Mrs. Laserpants?
She said she would. Let's just make sure it can happen.
No, I'm sorry, Mama Laserpants.
Yeah, Mama Laserpants.
All right. Hopefully that'll happen.
Hopefully.
Cool.
I'll send her the link.
Sweet.
Oh, I guess you got okay.
All right.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, for Laserpants, Rectangler, for Bobby, for me, we'll see you on Friday. Y'all stay safe out there and be good.